Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Labor Day for those of you over stateside. I don't know. I'm assuming Labor Day is not an international holiday. So happy Labor Day stateside. Otherwise, just a Monday. We were going back and forth, holiday weekends. We never know if we're going to stream on a Monday, and here we are. We had a fun one today. A lot of FIBA action over the weekend, so we're going to talk about that at the second half of the show. But every once in a while, we have a member of the community who's working on something cool. So we're going to have a special guest on here at the top of the show and get us ready for the football season. So I'm looking forward to that. Before we get into that, though, just a couple, housekeeping things. We have a lot of fun stuff this week. The NBA bit returns to its normally scheduled programming time tomorrow. 9 a.m. Eastern, we'll be back. The return of Shot Tank Series 2, Season 2. It's not Series 2. This isn't Top Shots. Season 2 of Shot Tank is back on Wednesday night. One small adjustment to Shot Tank moving forward. It'll be every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, but instead of doing the rotating channels, they're all going to be right here on Team Hold. So that'll be back on Wednesday. Jeb, JBB, TST, the whole gang is going to be here. And then I don't know. I think we'll have our first Sunday morning stream next weekend because week 1 of the NFL football season's here. And John and I have been just hammering out these underdog battle royales that open this week. It's crazy, crazy time. But if you haven't done so yet, do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I do just want to say too, listen, we were working hard this weekend. We are now, I believe I was at 9,825 subscribers on Friday, and we've picked up just about 50, 9,870. So we were 130 away, baby. Cooking. So excited to hit 10K tomorrow or when we do. All right, enough of that. We're going to be bringing on a longtime guest. Longtime team holder. I feel like it's from the early days. So we're going to bring on Satoshi. We're going to talk a little STG football in week 1. Welcome to the show, sir. How are we doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. Now, I need you to do me a favor. I have confidently pronounced your YouTube handle for 2 years now, and I'm confidently saying it, but not confidently believing it. How am I supposed to be pronouncing your YouTube handle?
It's Murakamiist.
And go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people what I've been calling it?
I feel like it changes a little bit, but it's pretty close. It's not too. Yeah, Murakamiist. I enjoy it. It's not the worst I've heard, honestly.
Yeah. Well, dude, listen, man, I'm so excited to have you come on. I'm excited to talk a little football. We've been like circling the idea of talking about this for a long time. I know over the summer there was some stuff that was developing, and I was like, why don't we wait till football season so that way it's like in the zeitgeist of things. So I'm going to drop a couple of links into the chat so people can follow along if they want to pull some stuff up and where they can find you. But give me like a little backstory on STG football and like how I guess like the overview of what it is and how it like came to be with you.
Totally. Yeah. So Super Team Games is a mix of mostly people from an old studio that we all worked together at called Glue. And we all came from a game called Tap Sports Baseball, which if you play mobile games and you play baseball, you probably know it's a pretty big game. And yeah, we once Glue was acquired by EA, you know, we all stuck with EA for a little while, but eventually I think we all kind of filtered out. You know, EA is much more of a giant studio, and like I like that, but for example, like what happened to me was people really wanted me to work on all sports games. So for a minute, I was talking to like FIFA and Madden and like racing games, and I was like, "This is cool," and like I'm enjoying it, but it just doesn't really make sense for me. Like I like being on a product, like hands on. So yeah. Eventually, the 4 founders of STG Football came together, and one of them, if you've played any like old games from like 3DO and stuff, like he basically worked on all those games. So if you've played games since you were a kid, like I'm pretty sure you played one of their games. And yeah, they created this game STG Football, and I saw the trailer one time while talking to one of the founders, and I was like, you guys need more help? I'd love to join the team. And so they're like, yeah, come on in. And,
I was also like pretty impressed. I don't know. Maybe it's because we come from the NBA Top Shot world, but anytime they're like, well, they do have licensing. They have official licensing within the NFL. And I saw that like that. It's, you know, that I feel like that's a pretty big deal if you're like making a football game where it's not just like number 38, like you're actually using NFL players and like have a decent relationship with a handful. Like I saw Tyreek Hill made an appearance too. And so kind of how has that that experience been from like what your awareness is of it, like on the NFL side of things?
Yeah, it's been a great relationship. And like I said, we worked on Tap Sports Baseball, so we had a great relationship with the MLB and the MLBPA. And so a lot of the people who worked with the MLB and MLBPA, that's how that relationship translated to our NFL Players Association relationship. So like you said, we're partnered with the NFLPA, and we have real NFL players in the game. And last year we went to like the rookie symposium or something in Vegas, and it was a lot of fun. We got to see, we're all from the Bay Area, and the one dude in Birkenstocks with like long hair, we were like, that guy's got to be from Stanford. And it turned out he was definitely the Stanford guy. But yeah, they're really cool. And I think the big thing is just like, you got to communicate with them, because when we started, we were in the NFT like bull market. And so we were like, yeah, here's our crazy projections. And then of course everything died, and we were immediately like, we're bringing these projections down. And they're like, that's totally cool. We just appreciate you guys communicating with us. So
can you talk a little bit about like the game itself and how it is connected towards the Web3 aspect of it?
100%. Yeah. So I'm going to try to start sharing one of my screens here. So the game is just here we go.
I got you.
We like to call it like a mix of NFL Blitz and Rocket League. So it is a 4v4 multiplayer, real time. On offense, you're playing either quarterback, wide receiver, flex, which is tight end, or running back. And on defense, you're either playing safety, corner, linebacker, or what's called rusher. And that kind of like encompasses all D linemen. And yeah, you are just trying to, there's one first down at the 50-yard line, and then you got to score a touchdown after that. And it's a lot of fun. It's really easy to pick up, but hard to master. You know, it's all about your stick skills. You got to have some jukes. There's no spin button, but you can definitely break people's ankles because it's much faster than Madden. As you can probably see here, you don't really slow down at all at any point. You are just going full speed the whole time, and you can boost and you can like stiff arm and things like that, and dive. So there's a lot of different skills and abilities that you can utilize. And our best players are all basically like pros from like other games like Fortnite and things like that. So it's a lot of fun to see. And we just launched on Steam. We're on Epic right now, and by the end of this year, we're going to be on consoles.
That's awesome. Wow, that's because that was going to be my next question. Like, what is the trajectory looking like that for where you can play it? So that's incredible that it's been moving. What was I saw like in the highlight you had Tyreek Hill on recently. Was he like playing as somebody on stream?
So we haven't had Tyreek Hill on yet. He's going to be on later this week. But today we're going to have on David Njoku and Matt Judon are going to stream some STG football.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we've been basically pairing Web3 content creators with these guys and having them play together.
Yeah.
And we made special versions of them as NFTs, and they get to keep them, and they've been really enjoying that. So it's been a lot of fun. I got to throw a touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is fantastic.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a team that you support, or are you now because you're working in there? Or are you just like I'm in it for the love of the game?
You know what's funny is I don't think I'm supposed to say like what my favorite team is anymore, since I'm working on an NFLPA partnered product, which is ridiculous. But I did used to have a favorite team, but like as I got older, I just started following people, and like I like players more than I do teams now. So
yeah. I think that's a common sentiment now across sports too. Weisberg in the chat was asking a question. He's like, so talk to us a little bit about like acquiring players. Is it like a pack model? Like what's the, because I also saw I'll just let you explain it. I'm not even going to take a shot at it.
All good. Yeah, I appreciate the question. So there's multiple ways to pick up players. You can get NFT players for free just by playing the game. So we do have a battle pass we call the field pass. Mm-hmm. And every game you play, you earn footballs. And as you accrue more footballs, you automatically unlock rewards. And towards the end of the field pass, you can start unlocking NFT packs. But we also have non-NFT players that you can earn that are called stars. And they are NFL players. They're just a little bit lower quality than the NFTs.
So they're like New England Patriots players. Is that what you're saying? They're like, well, you can't agree to that. You can't say anything. I'll say it.
Certain divisions are more represented than others, probably.
Yeah, there we go. That's a trained response right there. That was a trained answer. What's been some of like so you've been on it for a little bit now. What's been like some of the what's the experience been like for you, like on the cooler side of things, about being able to like see this grow over the course of like the last year or so?
Yeah, I've been heads down and just doing all the normal product stuff that I normally am doing. And when we're such a small company, any big problem, everybody's hands on. So of course we've all been working on marketing and trying to get our game out there.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun trying to figure that side out and working with content creators and learning about your guys' struggles. We just did a content creator cup with 16 different content creators. Each had a team and then went against each other, and it all took place in one day. And the guy who ran it, Icy, I feel really bad for, because I know he has been working for like the last few weeks nonstop. We had someone drop out. I think we had like 2 or 3 people drop out the last few days. So yeah, it's been wild for him.
That's literally that is the worst part of the gig, is not only asking people to like help you out and do a thing, but then like thinking they're all going to show up or commit to what they've committed to. It's truly the worst part about this. I can't tell you how many times I have like guests locked in, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, 5 minutes before, I know you've probably been promoting this thing for the last 6 weeks and have a lot of people like counting on it, but we're not going to do it anymore. It's brutal.
Yeah. And the personalities that have like a lot of requests, things like that. I've been surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that too, because you're a content creator. Like, relax. So I'm gonna share a couple other links too into the chat so that people can at least like follow along on Twitter. You can just find them at STG_football. So I'll drop that in there right now. And then I don't know, is there anything else like that? I want to make sure that you kind of get across what where we should be sending people, or is there anything else that we need to make sure we like touch upon? I'm seeing like you guys have like a game of the month and stuff like that. What's just kind of like talk me through anything else that we haven't covered yet.
Yeah, so I think that one of the big things that I'm excited for, and since this is, I'm thinking more of like a Web3 related thing, is that we're eventually going to do franchises, and that's essentially going to be our guild system. And there's definitely going to be a non-NFT base level guild that you can be in, but we eventually want to include, an NFT guild system where you can not only own your own guild, but utilize that as an ability to like lend out your superstars or your NFL NFT players to other people in your guild, and hopefully run your own competitions and things like that. And I think that I know that there's a lot of drama recently with that content creator league, or I forget what it's called.
I just saw that I just saw that come across my feed yesterday, and I was reading into it a little bit because I was trying to figure out why people were mad, and it sounded like that the letters NFT scares the shit out of everybody, and that they didn't seem like it was transparent enough. Although, so I don't know, that's where I saw a lot of the drama come from, that there was some pushback once they found out it was like Web3 based.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it pretty much is what the whole thing was. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 content creators have pulled out now, just because they at least say that they didn't realize that it was Web3 based, which, that's, I think everybody should do whatever's best for them and their audience. I just felt like that to me, it seemed like a great usage. If you are like a really competitive gamer, I think we've all felt guild drama, and like owning your own guild is a really powerful thing in gaming. So there's a lot of things that gaming companies can do as well once that's there to help content creators as well. Like I think that's where you start with things like you can create your own skin and sell it kind of situation. So I hope that people will go through with it.
Yeah, I think that it's just like, we've talked about this at length over the last couple of years, but the unknown is always like scary versus like what you're accustomed to. Weisberg too is asking in the chat, kind of along those lines, like how have you guys, and this might not be like in your expertise of what you've been working, but like how are you talking about like the Web3 portion of this to like the average gamer, or is that something, not that you avoid maliciously, but is that a part of the pitch?
Yeah, it's a great question. It depends on the platform. On Twitter, I think we've recognized that there's a lot of Web3 people who are interested in Web3 stuff. So on Twitter, that's where we kind of like push, it's Web3. You own all your own NFTs and how you can earn your own NFTs through playing the game and things like that. On like Instagram and TikTok, it's mostly just like even if there's like pack openings on TikTok, like it's a lot of what, you're starting to see digital asset ownership and things like that. Or we're trying to avoid the Web3 verbiage. And I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, because one of the really interesting things is that the Web2 players love the marketplace. Right. And I think I love Top Shot, and that's honestly why we're all here with even STG Football, I think. And the big difference between us and Top Shot is that basically any dude you're going to get from the NFT box is a big name. Right. There's no O-linemen, there's no punters, which helps a lot. But, I think last year, like one of the lower rarity wide receivers was Juju Smith-Schuster. So, I think
that's such an interesting thing, too, because when we think about when NFL All Day was about to be launched, a lot of that was like, what are we going to do, linemen? Like, there's no way they'll do linemen. And they're like, well, that's, how things work when you have partnerships with the NFLPA. They're not just, the NFLPA is almost exclusively working for the linemen, because the guys like Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, like they don't need help getting theirs. They're going to get theirs, whether it's through endorsement deals or these massive fat contracts where like the linemen, the punters, the defensive players in general maybe don't get as much shine. So I remember that whole conversation around NFL All Day back in the day.
And that to me was one of those situations, like I get why they had to do that, but like with the MLB, we had such a great relationship because we would go to them often and be like, is there anything that we can do for you? Are there players you want us to feature? Which is something that a lot of people don't go to them and ask. And so we had like, initiatives that was like, oh, these 5 players are who the MLB asked us to promote. And one year it was Randy Arozarena in his rookie year. And if you remember his rookie year, he went bananas in the postseason. Yeah. And that was like one of those situations where we were like, I wish we could have sold that Randy Arozarena as like a NFT. It was only earnable, but like it would have been cool if you could only earn it as an NFT. And then, of course, if you had that version in the postseason, that would have been awesome.
That is cool that you have that relationship or have had experiences with relationships like that, where the communication is pretty open, transparent, and back and forth. Because ultimately, like that just makes your job easier. It makes the product better, and it also makes your partner happy, which is like so important in relationship building stuff and working with stuff like this.
Totally. And the players that end up working with you, they're the ones who want to work with you at that point.
Right.
As opposed to a random dude who's just getting paid.
Right. Yeah, that's so interesting. All right. So I shared a couple links in the chat. It's all going to be pinned like if you're checking this out and it's not live, this will all be pinned afterwards. But anything upcoming that they should know about, or anything that they should be getting involved in now? And I know we explained a little bit about like acquiring players and what the process is for that. But anything else that the people should know?
Yeah, definitely. If you're interested in joining, first of all, hit me up and we'll definitely make sure that you have a smooth transition in. But we are going to have our 22 core set is about to end essentially, and the 23 core set will begin, where that should be September 7th on Thursday, which is the first NFL game. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's also our new field pass will start that day. So it's a great day to come check out the game. And then, yeah, we still have, like I said, tonight, David Njoku, Matt Judon, and then later this week, Austin Eckler, Christian Watson, and Tyreek Hill are going to stream the game. So it should be fun.
And where can they find if they want to watch along? Where can they find that? Is that through the website or is that on Epic, like you were mentioning earlier?
Yeah, so you can definitely watch it on. There's like a Steam live stream page that we have, and I'll try to get that link to you. And then otherwise, you might have to follow our Twitter account because we've been having different content creators host it.
Oh,
so
awesome.
It might be on our live stream or it might be on someone like I think King Apollo ran our last one. He did an awesome job.
Awesome. All right, cool. Yeah. We'll definitely keep an eye out. We'll have to have you come back on a little bit later into the season too, to talk a little bit more about how it's developed, and especially once franchise mode gets involved, we'll have to get a little team hold situation going on. But dude, this was so great to have you on, man. I know you've been a part of the community for like such a long time, so it's been nice to have you on here to talk a little bit and put a name with the face, and now. Murakamiist, it will no longer be Merkamized.
I'll miss Merkamized, but yeah, I really appreciate being on. I love the show. I'm up every morning at 6 because I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah.
It started because my son would wake up at 5 and I was like, oh, sweet, I have something to watch. And now, even if he's not awake at 6 o'clock, I'm like, I'll watch this live stream and I'll go back to sleep after.
I was going to say, yeah, you watch live too. I didn't to be on the West Coast and watch live. That is a commitment to content.
It's a great show. We love it.
Yeah, there we go. We'll clip this and we'll put that on my LinkedIn. Dude, thank you so much, man, for coming on and making this happen. And I swear we'll check back in like a couple of months as we or like midway through the NFL season and see how things are going. And we'll find another way to partner up. I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks again, man.
All right. We'll talk soon. Give it up for Murakamiist again. All of those links I've dropped into the chat so far, but I'll have those things pinned as we wrap this baby up. But we're not done yet. We're going to talk a little FIBA action, a little FIBA World Cup. Wow, I see Ricky Beers into the chat. There we go, Ricky Beers. Let's take a quick break before we get into some FIBA action. We'll be right back. Today's NBA Bit is brought to you by So Rare. Daily fantasy sports is annoying. Constantly paying attention to injury news, who's starting, who's sitting, and just having to remember to enter your lineups each and every day. With So Rare, you just have to enter your lineup once for each game week. And instead of having to pay an entry fee each time you enter a contest with So Rare, once you buy your cards, the tournaments are free. Each game week, you'll have a chance to win more card rewards to bolster up your roster. And this year, So Rare is introducing cash prizes. So sign up for So Rare today using the link in the description, and they'll start you with 20 free common cards. And by using our link, once you buy 5 cards from auction, they'll give you a 6th one free. So sign up for So Rare today and see if you can take down Mike Sorarian. Boom. Welcome back. There we go. Sneeps is here, the common man. Good to see everybody. Shout out Murakamiist again. That was awesome. It was fun to talk a little STG football. Football's back this week. I've been firing off some battle royales. We got in all 150 of my best ball manias. I'm ready. I'm just ready. Give me some football. But we're time to move on. Time to move on to a little FIBA. Martin's ready to go. Latvia and Lithuania in the top 8. We are down to the quarterfinals. So this weekend was fun. I hope people have been watching these games. I know it's at a weird time, especially if you're West Coast. It's probably not worth it. You have to watch it on replay, but at that point, you've already been spoiled by Twitter, so I get it. But the games this weekend were a lot of fun, especially yesterday. We'll start with the United States. So the United States played 2 games, right? They played Montenegro on Friday, where Nikola Vucevic just went ham. 18 and 16, I think it was like a classic Vucevic game. Stan Loves is probably like, I told you, Vucevic. Right? But the United States still got the W after a slow start. But everybody was saying, we can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, I think it changes you. Oh, that was scary. The mic went out. But anyways, Lithuania was going to be the test. That was going to be the big test. Jonas Valanciunas, a bunch of bigs. How are they going to be able to do it? How are they going to be able to rebound? And the answer was they weren't. They just got smoked down low. Jonas Valanciunas was a boss. Jaren Jackson Jr., in the last 2 games, has gotten 1 rebound. He fouled out in 15 minutes of action. Austin Reeves, Jaren Jackson Jr. played a total of 28 minutes, I believe it was, maybe 28, 29 minutes, 10 fouls. They both fouled out. Austin Reeves got put in a blender down low. Just got bodied time after time after time. There's a good bit on the Hoop Collective today with Brian Windhorst telling a story about how Austin's brother played with one of the dudes in Lithuania in the German league, I believe, and basically was telling him, like, dude, talk shit to Austin. And not only did he talk shit, he like bodied him down low. So the United States, listen, all the teams that are left are really good, right? So they'll have Italy in their quarterfinal game. And that's what everybody was saying too. Like, even though the United States lost, they had already qualified. There was nothing to play for, maybe, but I think they still don't like losing. I don't think it. Everybody acts like the sky is falling every time the United States loses an international game. Noah Lyles is probably just rubbing one out, being like, world champs of what? Right? There's a lot of that. But so yeah, I do think they would have preferred to win. And the reason we know this is because they dropped down 19 at the end of the first quarter. I think they were down 17 at half and then went crazy in the third quarter. They were playing some wild, coked up defense. Like, they were running all over the place. Little spider monkeys just like going all over the place. But I think what ended up happening, and again, I'm going to reference college basketball again, but we've seen this before, right? Where a team goes down like 15 in the tournament, right? And then there's these big comebacks, big push after push after push. But if you don't get over that hump of the tie game, if you can't take the lead, there's something about like exploding all that energy or using all of that energy to get to a point, but then not getting there. And then it just kind of like deflates you a little bit. And there were some weird calls throughout the game, but Lithuania was good. Yeah. Weisberg saying they went 9 for 9 from the field. I believe they went 4 for 12 from 2, 9 for 9 from 3. But even though they went 4 for 12, they were getting all these offensive rebounds. Like, the Lithuania team had more offensive rebounds than the United States had defensive rebounds. What? Right? That's a crazy ass stat. And again, this goes back to the same thing, right? Like, I love Jaren Jackson Jr. You know, I'm a Triple J fan. But like, when he's your only big, because we were being like, dude, you know what? Steve Kerr's kind of galaxy brain in here. Using Paolo Banchero, normally a 4. But what if he plays small ball 5? And that was like really fun when it was working, right? Where they're playing these smaller teams that don't have these like big old dudes. Then you do it against a team like Lithuania, who's been playing together for the last like 15 years. All these big, burly Lithuanians just doing work. And all of a sudden, the Paolo minutes were brutal. I believe he was like minus 14. And even that, they won that back a little bit at the end. It was even worse than that. Badavine saying, I'm hearing Ty Lue is responsible for preparing this game. How dare you? How dare you? But yeah, it was a crazy, crazy game for the United States. So the U.S. is playing Simone Fontecchio in Viva Italia in the quarterfinals. I believe that is on Wednesday. Is that September? Yeah. So tomorrow's games, we have Lithuania and Serbia. Serbia, who lost their first game after getting pounded. I forget who beat them, actually. But they got smoked in that last game. I forget who it was. Then Italy's playing the Giuseppe. Oh, that is, both of those games are tomorrow. Excuse me. Both of those tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we have Germany versus Latvia. Dennis Schroeder. So there's 2 teams left that haven't lost a game yet. That's Jonas Valanciunas and the the Lithuanians. And then Dennis Schroeder, the Wagner Bros, and the Germans. So the Germans are taking on the Latvians. The Latvians who just shot the hell out of the ball. And I'm assuming that's how they're going to approach Germany, too. Germany's got some big dudes. I imagine Latvia is going to go in there and just chuck as many threes. Hopefully, they are on the right side of variance. But then the game that we're going to talk about, Canada played Spain. That was the prime time of 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Spain dominated the first half. I believe they were up 12 at half, or maybe 10 or 12. And then they were up 10 or 12 going into the fourth quarter as well. Early on, RJ Barrett was like pretty aggressive for Canada, was kind of keeping them in the game early, disappeared late, but was keeping them in the game early. The Hernan Gomez's were going at it. They were going nuts. And then Shanti Aldama of the Memphis Grizzlies was like showing out. He was awesome. There we go. 10 at half, 12 after 3. So we go into the fourth quarter. They're down 12. It just doesn't seem like, I honestly was like, oh man, this sucks. That's it for Canada. Canada, who hadn't been to the Olympics since 2000. There's always this promise with the Canadian team that we're not a ton of follow through. it seemed like this was that's the way it was gonna go. That Canada, Spain, the defending champs, were gonna roll through, close it out in the fourth quarter, and then Dylan motherfucking Brooks went off. Dylan hits 3 threes there down the stretch, makes a couple of crazy defensive plays, had a couple of dumbass turnovers as well. But you live by the Dylan, you die by the Dylan. And Dylan Brooks and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, dude, SGA is amazing. SGA is so good. He gets fouled 3 different times down the stretch, right? They're fouling, trying to extend the game. Spain's fouling, trying to extend the game. SGA goes to the line in crunch time, last minute and a half of the game, and knocks down 6 consecutive foul shots without touching the rim. I mean, nylon. It would bang every single one. There was never a doubt. He had this beautiful, put this man in the blender, this beautiful step back jumper, long 2. Honestly, I think the FIBA World Cup shared a clip on Twitter in slow-mo. It was incredible. It's just beautiful, beautiful shit. And SGA, you see him just being like, everyone else is like, yes, big shot, 2-point lead, Canada. And SGA's just kind of like, you guys just calm, could chill out a little bit, act like we've been here before. And he was just so good. Spain almost knocked down a 3 at the buzzer too. That was like a lot closer than people realize. SGA, this was also mentioned on the Hoop Collective. I think Tim Bontemps said SGA checked back into the game with 4:36 left in the game. He scored or assisted on every single point throughout the rest of the game. And I like, it's funny because I remember the Dylan Brooks shots more than I remember anything else. And maybe it's because we're just at the point now when SGA gets a bucket, it makes sense. When Dylan does, you're like, whoa. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Santi did an up and under dunk, and I nearly died. So Santi, right? This is at halftime, I think. Canada comes out, makes a nice push, gets it to like 4-6 points. Santi Aldama comes in, knocks down a 3. Next possession, runs down, knocks down a 3. Next possession, comes down, and then almost ends Kelly Olynyk's life. Just dunks right on him. So that's when I thought it was a wrap. When they immediately, because that is the same thing that happened in the United States game. The U.S. makes this big push, gets it all the way down to 4, and then all of a sudden, Lithuania knocks down 2 threes. You're like, motherfucker, it's back to 10 again. And that's what that kind of felt like. But Canada, they shall overcome. So let's go with the quarterfinal matchup, right? I already said Lithuania and Serbia, Italy and USA, Germany and Latvia. But then Canada and Slovenia on Wednesday, which I think is going to be like a 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. SGA versus Luka. I am so excited for them. This is going to be a fun game. What's nice about like both of these teams, right? I believe both teams already qualified for the Olympics, although Slovenia might not have, because I know Europe's a little feisty. But Canada going back to the Olympics, like I know they're going to be disappointed if they lose this game, but they got to feel good. But Canada should be the favorites, right? I know Slovenia has Luka, but Canada should be the better team. Yeah, first time Canada will be in the men's basketball in the Olympics in 24 years. Very exciting. It was fun to watch, honestly, especially after watching U.S. kind of. It was nice to see. I don't know. It was a good moment. I actually really recommend listening to the Hoop Collective too, because they had the last like 15 minutes, they were talking about South Sudan, who they've been a country for like 11 years and qualified for the Olympics because of their FIBA World Cup performance. And I had no idea of the story of all of this, of how like Luol Deng basically funded the entire program. There's a great article on ESPN too. I recommend taking a look at that, but it was a really nice story. But yeah, they were talking about that and about like Canada qualifying for the first time in 24 years. So it was, I don't know. I've been really enjoying the FIBA World Cup. It's been exciting. Weisberg letting us know Slovenia already did qualify. Yeah, it was a really cool piece. I really highly recommend reading it, or at least listening to the last 10 minutes of that podcast, because it was nice. It was a nice moment. I keep going back to the Hoop Collective, man. That podcast used to drive me nuts like a year and a half ago. Now it's become one of my favorite listens. They good chemistry between that trio. Been enjoying it quite a bit. They still talk over each other, and they always seem a little bit annoyed with one another. And I don't know, maybe that's part of their charm. They're like the not the odd couple, the whatever. Who cares? Three's Company, whatever. But yeah, definitely recommend checking that out. All right, so. Yeah, Lithuania, Serbia, Italy, USA, Germany, Latvia, Canada, Slovenia. And then, we'll see. We'll see how the United States adapts to a loss. I don't think it's like full panic attack mode, but I mean, Italy's not going to be an easy out. Italy's played well. And then in the next round, I mean, they're getting the winner of Germany, Latvia, And Germany's got some big dudes. Germany's got some big dudes, so that could be a problem. Latvia, not so much, but Latvia can just shoot, 45% from three, take 50 of them, and then all of a sudden it doesn't matter. I've had people compare. Weisberg says compare Udabon temps, which is funny. That is funny. That's funny. Was SGA on his SGA? He was. SGA was incredible. I think he finished with 30 points. I was looking at the final like tallies of like the leading scorers, and SGA was up there. Luka was leading the way. Lauri Markkanen was up there too. But yeah, anyways, SGA was on his SGA, so that was pretty fun. So that's it. That's the FIBA World Cup update. No other real basketball news. Nothing else spicy happening in the streets. The only other funny thing that happened over the weekend was our buddy Mr. LG Doucette had a nice little sale. Over the weekend that were raising some eyeballs. People were in the direct messages being like, what's going on here? It feels a little fishy from the first mint. But the live token bot went, let's see what we got here, Mr. Doucette. He's like, hey, what's up, everybody? Emmanuel Quickly, the Top Shot debut. Actually, no, this isn't a Top Shot debut. This is a base set series 4. Low serial, 147 out of 2,500. Sold for $2,053. Why would he do that? We're going to have to get Detective Sully Sullivan. We're going to have to get Sully Sullivan on the case. Do I still have that video up here? Do we still have the Sully Sullivan video?
Yeah, I can remember the Johnson murders like they were yesterday. You don't forget a dark murder like that. When you walk in on that scene, your life changes forever. Reminds me a little.
There we go. We'll have to investigate what's going on here. I asked him about it. He had no comment. I'm sure it's nothing, but it did make me laugh. I love that because every time we see something like that happen, everybody tags the FBI. And then someone's like, oh, yeah, it looks like Top Shot's never coming out of beta. It's money laundering. This is fucking Ozarks of Web3. I don't think that is the case, but it makes me laugh every time it happens. It does. Gives me a little chuckle. But yeah, just 2K. Student Government Association. Oh, yeah, that is student. Yeah, SGA was on a Student Government Association. Yeah, some of us were presidents of our SGA, okay? Some of us were prezzies. But that's it. That was it for the weekend. I know we got a historical drop coming or something. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? We've been doing a couple of different I've been trying to do more polls on the YouTube community page. So do me a favor. Whenever you see those polls, get active in it. Make sure you vote, like the videos, do all those. Like the posts. But here we go. I said, what World Cup team left poses the biggest threat to the U.S.? We've got 80 votes so far. Canada, 40%. I love that it's not Lithuania, even though Lithuania just beat the pants off them. But these were the 4 I listed. Looks like Canada with a big lead here. Who are you taking to win one game? Out of 211 votes, 53% are taking Jamal Murray, 37% Donovan Mitchell, 9% Ben Simmons. That's 211 votes. And then who's the best player left in FIBA? Big win for Luka. There you go. Let's rip a battle royale. Yeah, let's do that. You know what? Before we do that, we'll rip 2 battle royales maybe. Let's do a read. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy Sports. Whether you're drafting Luka first overall in best ball or fading Wemby blocks in the pick'ems, Underdog is where you'll find Team Hold. Sign up today at underdogfantasy.com or just click the link in the description to get started. And by signing up using promo code HOLD, HOLD, you will get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. That's a free honey. So sign up today using promo code HOLD, HOLD, and get started at underdogfantasy.com. All right. Let's do a battle royale. So for those that don't know, battle royale, you are drafting just for week 1. And then there's a payout. So it's not like those normal best balls where we draft forever. It's a $5 entry. So ready, if you go to the homepage, scroll on over to battle royale week 1. This is what you do. You use 6 rounds. You got to take a quarterback. You got to take a running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and then you get a flex All right. So let's get in this bad boy right now. Waiting for 4 more if you want to do it. If you want to do it. Yeah, no, I think I really don't think it's a big thing. I think it's being handled. I think it's being handled. But it made me laugh anyways. All right, I got the 4th pick. Who do we got in here? Buster's Boys, Reese Zone, Crab of 68. Okay. Lil Grem and Blue Eyed Bandit. Not to be confused with Bandy, you know what I'm saying? We the people up in here. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know why it was even listed for that number. That's what I want to know. Maybe they'll talk about it on the podcast. Maybe that I don't know. I want to know. I want to know. Tell me, baby girl. All right, the 4th pick. Let's see. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have some projections that I'm using thanks to our friend over John Boy Beats. But this is $20K for first place for a $5 entry. For those that remember, I was ripping these NBA ones towards the end of the season last year. They were a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward. I'm actually going to be doing less DraftKings and FanDuel this year, and I'm going to be doing more of this. Because I enjoy this sweat a little bit more. It's fun having just like $5 dart throws, 20K up top. And the payout structure isn't too crazy, right? Goes 20K, 10K, 4K. Like it's pretty flat considering. What's wild is it's already like, what did it say? It's already where's that number? 40% full. We still got a few days left. That's nuts. Underdog Fantasy promo code HOLD, HOLD. All right, let's go. We're taking Christian McCaffrey with the 4. Let me just double check. Let me check the projections. Christian McCaffrey. I've got too much CMC, honestly. I don't really like it. You know what's the worst take for some of these fantasy stuff is Bill Simmons. I don't know if you guys listened to the Bill Simmons Matthew Berry podcast the other week. One of like the dumbest things. Yeah, dude, we the people. Go sign up. Use promo code HOLD. Get me some cash. All right, Christian McCaffrey. I imagine we're taking either Chubb or Bijan here with this next pick. Let's see. It is going to be Chubb-a-dub-dub. So I don't like starting with 2 running backs, but Chubb at 9 is fine. So we got Christian McCaffrey and Chubb-a-dub to start it off. Let's go. The quarterback thing's been kind of, for some of you might have done this last year. I feel like I need to see how these payouts go how the scoring goes before I get a better feel for this. It's half PPR. Half PPR. You can never have too much CMC. All right, Top Shot, Hot Shot. I feel like I do have a lot. I'll look at my exposures for this yeah, I know, right? All right, let's see. Next up, we're probably going to go Devontae. If Devontae makes it, we'll go him. I feel like people are out on Devontae this year. It's kind of interesting. I do like Ridley too. I feel like Ridley keeps falling. He has an ADP at 13. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Ridley, I would like to take Devontae here. Okay, good. We got Devontae. That's fun. That's fun with the Vats. I'd probably take TJ Hawkinson too if he's still there with the next one. Otherwise we have a drop down. Get SD Miami exposure. SD. What is SD? Why I feel so dumb. What is SD? Yeah, the Jimmy G Shanahan thing is done. Have you done your week 1 lineup or you even Yeah, I've got like a couple of free entries, so I'll do them, but Chargers. I was like, what is going on? All right, here we go. Let's see. Well, maybe we'll throw Keenan Allen up in there then. We get Keenan Allen for our second. A lot of people are out on Keenan this year. Not me, though. I still think Keenan's going to be the guy. I'm sorry I couldn't figure that out on my own, Ricky. I should have been able to figure that out. And then, I don't know. What are we going to do? Yeah, you know what's weird about, but they don't really like correlate super well together, I guess. right? I feel like I'd want Jacobs or Adams, but probably not both. I mean, you could definitely do it. You could definitely do it. I kind of want to do one thing that it's so dumb. It's a dumb thing. I've been thinking about like cuz right, so many different people are in this tournament. There's so many different lineups in there. So many different constructions of like similar builds, right? Cuz everybody's drafting from the same spots over and over and over again. Everybody's got a bunch of different entries. I've been kind of thinking about doing weird shit like, right, so I want to take Kittle with my next pick and then get Brock Purdy as my quarterback. But like Brock Purdy's never going to, like when you look at how far down Brock Purdy is, he's never going to outscore these bros. Oops, did I stop sharing? My bad. So that feels kind of dumb, right? Like, because Brock Purdy's projecting for 15, but Trevor Lawrence is projecting for 19. But to me, that's like so close. That's like so close that I feel like I should do it. Yeah, I feel you, but you got to take a tight end, right? And when you compare him to the other tight ends that are less left, like you can make a case for Goddard and Pitts, but I mean Kittle can break this, right? Because I'm not trying to get like $5 back. I'm trying to go get 20K. Yeah, we're gonna do Purdy, or maybe do we do Anthony Richardson? I feel like no one's gonna have Purdy. Look Purdy, CMC. This is a dumb pick, by the way. I forgot I had CMC. Purdy's going to throw 3 touchdowns, 1 to Kittle, 2 to C-Mac. What a weird-ass team right there. Yeah, I did see that. I did see the pitch count. Maybe I should have gone Anthony Richardson. How do you do a pitch count on your starting quarterback? Right? If he's not healthy enough to play him, play a fucking backup. Like, I don't understand how they're like, you know what? Brock Purdy could be our quarterback for 19 snaps. But if he does 20, that's too dangerous. Right? But like 17 is fine. Like, how do you do that? It's not like a running back where they're like, hey, we're going to hand it off 3 times. That's the dumbest thing ever. I don't get it. No, I get it. I understand. I'm just saying it's stupid. I don't understand how the quarterback is healthy enough to throw it 9 times, but 11, never forget, is too many. Right? It just seems dumb. It seems dumb. I don't get it. All right, we're going to call it there. We are going to call it there. I was going to do another one, but honestly, this room is the hottest room in the apartment, and I need to move. I'm getting sweaty. Look at this. We're doing tanks. This is my softball shirt, by the way. Fall ball starts this weekend. Oh, you know what I will tell you? Remember, I think I told you guys I went on Friday. I might have mentioned what I was doing this weekend, and I went to this thing called Sauce, where they were making gravy all day. Incredible experience. I had a nice time. Went up to Strong Island. We're in Long Island. Took the LIRR, the Lear. It was good. Wait, all right, Ricky, I'll do one more. You just deposited $5, Ricky? All right, let's do one more. I'll do one more. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Battle Royale. Everybody get in there. Waiting for 3 more people. I'm going to get the 1 of 1 because you're making me do another one. That's just how it works. That is how it works. But yeah, went up to Long Island, had a great time. I had a great day. It's very relaxing. And then yesterday, I watched this terrible show. Watched Ahoska this weekend. Only 3 episodes out, but favorites so far. Okay. I've been holding off. Maybe I'll watch it. Oh, I'm seeing Greg Dunbar this week. That's very exciting. I'm seeing G Dunn. He's going to be in New York. But I watched this terrible show on Netflix called Who is Aaron Carter? And it's like the perfect amount of bad. Like, it is terrible, but it's good. It's like soap opera meets James Bond. Very interesting. All right, who do we got in here? Ricky Beers with the 1 of 1. I got the 1 2. And Garen's in here. We should you guys want to do collude? You guys want to collude for this one? Who's your most exposed team on your best ball builds? It's weird. I have actually, hold on. Well, my phone's in the other room. I have Anthony Richardson and Alec Pierce are my 2. Alec Pierce I have like 28% of because I was getting him so late. And then Anthony Richardson I have like 24% of. And then wide receiver, I was pretty heavy on Devonta. Like I have a 19% Devonta Smith. I have a lot of Mike Williams and a lot of Keenan Allen. But more one-offs. I don't have a lot of Charger stacks. And then I was way overweight on Kittle and Kelsey. I think I had like 18% or 17% Travis Kelsey. No, 13% Travis Kelsey, 17% George Kittle. All right, we're on the clock. Wow, Tyreek Hill surpassed. All right, fine. That's interesting. Let me see. I'm going to pull up another page so I can look at my exposure there. Drafts. Computer's being a little slow today. All right, so completed. Ba-da-ba-ba. All right, exposure. Here we go. Yeah, so quarterback, I had Anthony Richardson 22%, and then Brock Purdy is my next at 13%, Geno at 12%, Lamar at 12%, Daniel Jones 10, 2 at 10, Sam Howell 10. So it's kind of spread out after that. Running back, we got Gus Edwards 25%. He was a late pick for me. 20% for Antonio Gibson, 19% Jalen Warren, 19% Miles Sanders, 14% Ramondre, Damian Pierce, 14%. I actually went really heavy on Elijah Mitchell, the backup for the Niners. I went 14% on him. Algier, 14%. Jones, 13%. Walker, 13%. All right, wide receiver, we went. All right, hold on. I'm on the clock. Am I taking Derrick Henry over A.J. Brown? What am I doing here? Yes, I am. Derrick Henry, come on down. All right. Back to wide receiver. So Alec Pierce, 28%. Then Keenan Allen, Devonta, both 19. Mike Williams, 16. JSN from Seattle, 15. Bateman, 14. Waddle, 14. Cup, 14. Beckham, 14. Juju, 14. DK, 13. Pittman, 13. Marvin Mims, 13, which was fun. I was glad I got overweight on him. And then the tight ends, like I was saying, Kittle, 18. Oh, Isaiah Likely, 13. We're on the clock again. Hold on. Devontae Adams, let's go, baby. Wait, am I taking Devontae or? Yeah, we're taking Devontae. Back to tight end. Sorry, Sherry. Yeah, Likely 13%, Kelsey 13, Higbee 13, and then like Dawson Knox, Kincaid, a bunch of guys at 8%. Anyways, those are it. Could be worse things to be exposed on. There we go. Was Kelsey a bias pick? LOL. Yeah, it was. All right, let's see how these squads are doing. What's Garen? Garen went Hurts and Eckler early. All right. What about Ricky Beers? Jacobs, Jefferson, and Brown. I like it. What's my lineup? Who do I have? Henry, Ty Freak, and Devonts. All right. If I don't get Herbert or Fields, I kind of just like don't care. Let's see. Oh, will Herbert make it? No way. No way Herbert makes it. Would love if he did. Would love if he did. Don't do it, Top Water. There we go. Justin Herbert. Let's go. Are you stacking week 17 in any of your drafts? Yeah, I didn't try to do a full stack, but like I tried to have like one-on-one correlations. I mean, I tried to do it with my quarterback, right? So if I have a lot of Brock Purdy, George Kittle with Antonio Gibson, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of another one off the top of my head. Like I have a lot of Lamar Jackson with like Tyreek Hill and usually not Mark Andrews because it was tough to get that, but with like I have a lot of Zay Flowers and Bateman and guys like that. But I don't do full stacks. I did a lot of mini things too. Like a lot of my Travis Kelsey has T. Higgins. All right, we're back on the clock here. Do Mike Williams. Come on in for the little stacky stack, Mike Williams. Let's go. Look at this lineup. Herbert, Henry, Ty Freak, Devontae, Mike Williams. That's fun, huh? That's fun. All right, Garen's coming up on his last picks here. He went Devonta and DK. Look at this. Jalen Hurts with Devonta. I'm curious how that Eagles-Patriots game is going to play. Because like the Patriots defense should be good, but I've been doing the same thing. I have so much Jalen Hurts for this week. We're on to round 6, baby. We're going to start doing a bunch of basketball ones soon, by the way. I think I've only done What have I done for basketball so far? Let's see, completed. Oh, here we go. I've done 22 NBA ones. 22 NBA ones so far. My highest exposure, Cam Whitmore. Who saw that coming? All right, Skurs finishes up with Jahan. I love Jahan Dotson. All right, for tight end, I feel like I might go off the board a little bit here. I have so much Kyle Pitts and Dallas Goedert. I don't know. Who do you guys want me to pick for tight end? What about Freiermuth? Yeah, good point, We the People. Good point. And yes, jump shoot probably. What do you guys think about Pat Freiermuth? What do you want? What do you guys want to do at tight end here? Juwan Johnson, stack him up with do we stack up Juwan Johnson with Derrick Henry there? That's probably unnecessary, right? Do we just take the points, just take Goddard? Dulcich? You want to go Dulcich? All right, let's do it. Week 1 Dulcich. Come on down, baby. Come on down. We'll just let this queue out here. Huge. Irv Smith. Well, yeah, but you're in this draft with me. You probably want me to take some bad ones. We went Dulcich right there. Because Dulcich, there we go. Little pairing with Devontae Adams. So that's our final squad. We already went Skurs. All right. Ricky Beer's taking us home. Although it's gonna time out. It's not gonna show us. Ricky, just tell me who you took in the chat. Tell me who you took. All right, gang. Just a reminder, like the video, subscribe. Thanks to STG for coming on, for Satoshi to come on and hang out with us as we did that. Go check out STG Football. You can find the links in the show notes. So we're back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the NBA bit. Shot Tank returns Wednesday, which should be a lot of fun. We'll have some stuff to talk about. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to a fun week. There he is. Murakami. No, I did it. Now I'm in my head. Murakami. I'm in my head now. Fuck. I had it too. I said it right earlier. Murakamiist. Brutal. I'm the worst. But thanks for hanging out. Enjoy some daytime baseball. I hope you have a good rest of the long weekend. What's left of it. And we will see you tomorrow. We're out.